Hi, welcome to this week's guidance for the Our Raw Material Arena. I am Tavish Cardiff, one of the co-founders of the practice. The first thing we do in Wholeness is accept every single part of us as valid, necessary. Go ahead and take a deep breath, open that heart, welcome all of the orphaned parts of yourself home. Wholeness is where we find the balance between our soul energies and our ego energies, and we find them able to work together, or most able to work together. We can hear those two voices, separate them, know which one deserves the right of way at any given time. Wholeness is the place where the most horrible things that have happened to us and the most beautiful things that have happened to us come together, and we start to see the tapestry of everything that we are, hence the name Our Raw Material. Each one of our personal slices of that material, our own little piece, is relevant to our personality, to our circumstances, to what we were born into. And at Our Raw Material, we take those relationships, we call them pillars, and establish ourselves within the emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical frameworks. It is our goal as the end product of practicing our raw material to be co-creators of our environment. It is our job to learn how to be our best advocate, our best representative of ourselves out in the world, and then also to be the janitor, to clean up our messes, to be the best representative of ourselves in an individual sense and in a collective sense. It takes the individual self, however, and a solid sense of individuality to get to a place where we recognize the relationship, the cellular, structural frame relationship that we have to each other as human beings. We each have such a vastly different way of how we see the world, and for every one of us, it relates to how we have experienced the world. So before we go judging, walking in someone else's shoes, deciding what someone went through that we don't know anything about, check in with that fourth pillar, ignorance. I mean, honestly, of everything there is to know, how much do you personally know? It's pretty small, right? We fight about what we think we know versus what somebody else knows, or what they believe versus what we believe. And the very idea at truth is currently in conflict in our world. Take a breath around that. Allow it. Accept it. Learn your truth. Learn how to represent your own, but also learn how to hear someone else's without firing off in the ways that we do. It is a practice. Getting comfortable with our own raw material is a practice. It's why we created this arena, and it's why it's available essentially for free for your use. If you would like extra support in it, we've got tools on our website at ourrawmaterial.com. You can have a private session with either Quan or myself, and we will help guide you through it to your own solid practice, which is going to bring me to the challenge this week. How often can you really hold yourself in wholeness? How often can you take a really great thing that's happened and balance it against something that isn't so great? Or do it the other way. Take a negative thing, balance it with a positive thing. Learn to find not the karmic response, because that's not what we're really looking for here. We're coming away from karma and into the idea that it's not a 50-50 balance, and it doesn't need to be. All of our different opinions, ideas, brain power, vibrations, all hit on different levels, and every one of those levels is valid. When we start hitting them together in the same framework, in the ORM arena, we raise that vibration, and we raise all of our ability to see ourselves and everyone around us, the conditions that we live in, as whole, even if they fire off in a different direction every day and we're not exactly sure what is solid. What we can feel solid about is how we represent us, how we feel, even down to our own fears. We can only know later what things actually mean to us. So sit back, pop some popcorn, look around, breathe, open your heart, open your soul, step on the soul scale, test out what it feels like to look at the world as part of something that you have an effect on. Your wholeness matters. You as a human being with the ability to energetically affect the vibration of anything around you with your own thoughts and feelings, that is the power of wholeness. Thank you so much for your participation in this practice, and I look forward to seeing you at the solstice, the beginning of the spring 2025 session.